Muy buena gente, bienvenidos otra vez a otro episodio 3 de Disco Elysium. Vamos a seguir exactamente donde lo dejamos. Habíamos bajado el cuerpo y estamos yendo a... En realidad, no lo dije en voz alta la vez pasada, pero quiero ir a buscar mi placa. Creo que buscar mi placa es la play ahora mismo. Entonces, sí, yo debería estar en stream. Oh, Dios mío. Oh, Dios mío. Usa la puerta principal. Ah, está de acá. Bueno, parece que eso jugaremos en el stream de Halloween. Para Halloween, que cae, creo que el lunes. Sí, cae el lunes, el 31. Así que, bueno, en verdad tengo que trabajar. Así que no va a ser una estricta trasnoche. Tal vez no, tal vez sí, no lo sé. Lo voy a meditar. Pero necesito... para. Caballero, ¿usted sabe dónde están mis cosas?
Real mature, man. What exactly were you trying?
Damn, your feet thought we got away.
You know what? The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why? Because I know you can't pay for them. Not now. I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. Don't thank me yet. You still owe me 100 real.
Reales.
If you don't have it by tonight, I can't let you up there. Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here. What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
2 horas nada más. Ah, bueno, lo podemos terminar en 2 horas. Sí, 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 totalmente.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. No, you don't. Fucker. Lay off the swear words. They don't make you. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know the law. You'll just have to wait for...
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300 hours. No, Sambo is an acronym for Samoan boxing. Graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness.
Okay.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
A las 13 horas. ¿Y qué hora es ahora mismo?
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? Why did you say that?
No. But isn't that an expression, not a place? A saying. Up on Marvel Hill, a great high place.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
Sí, ahora necesito... ¿Qué hora es? Las 12. En 1 hora tendría que volver y podría entrar a la cocina. Así que... ¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Algo viste acá.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade?
No. Estamos trabajando. Nos hemos corregido. Sí, sí, son las 2 y 10. Pronto tenía que volver. Pero ahora vamos a ir a... ver si podemos meternos a... No sé a dónde vamos a ir. Es una buena pregunta. Ok. Podemos hacer eso. Rastrear el número de serie de la armadura.
A set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Third officer, what's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
¿Es una francesa o no?
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have
Mañana.
the- Was
Okay.
there anything else? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a... The white suede feels luxurious under the tuck. Your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. Clutch disengaged. Release the handle. Clutch drops. Right foot yearns for the smell of freshly treated leather. I'm good, cherished and cared for, in the hands of a tending owner. The handle is pulled back. Somewhere deep inside, in the cabin, you see a set of
¿Viste?
steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow.
Bueno. Ok. Bien. ¿Qué más tenemos que hacer? Eso está. Las botas, eso lo vamos a hacer después. Tatuaje de la víctima no me interesa. Esto no me interesa. Interrogar al jefe del sindicato. Acceder al puerto. ¿Qué? Podemos intentarlo. Buenas.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet.
Soy la ley.
You sure are, my man. It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals, and other.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. So tell me, what do you need? It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demand.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Hmm?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, he tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool.
Empatía, formidable. Tengo que sacar un 13, yo tengo 2. Tengo que sacar un 11 en los dados, durísimo. Vamos a esperar, pues si lo cagamos ahora no lo puedo hacer después. Vamos a esperar.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth.
Ajá.
He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions.
Okay.
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Don't be a stranger.
Bueno, sigamos viendo. Autoguardado. Ok, la primera estaba no, autoguardado. ¿Qué hay acá y por qué vine? ¿Puedo saltar por ahí? Sí, puedo, papá. Viva la patria.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip the
Reyes Filipinos de Rebachol.
the greatest of the Philippine. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
A ver.
even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of his own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution. And stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, he called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon,
Sí, es re bonito.
instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled coke. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays. And purple. Philippian cocaine was purple. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships. During the turn some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber,
Mira vos.
floating on. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics. And Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass
Una bala.
around where the heart. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can see it, but I take... Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? If we connect every bullet hole in Martinez to the murder, we'll get an overwhelming amount of loose threads. I've made a note. Don't hold your breath.
The king stands high above.
Ok, bueno. Nunca se sabe, es verdad. Digamos, realmente no sabemos qué está pasando, así que tener la anotación no está tan mal.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. But why? I just told you why.
Ok. Dejemos en paz a la señora. Sigamos buscando. ¿Qué es esto? Genial. Queremos trabajar, derecho a trabajar, no derecho, que se alcohol. ¡Wow! ¡Sos enorme, hermano! ¿Qué te pasa?
We have a right to work. Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here. You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strike breakers together.
Parece Jogging Bonus Struggle de los Padrinos Mágicos. ¡Mal! ¡Mal, boludo!
Confidence. Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Call me mañana. What the fuck?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, Not we came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let him go.
Ah, ok. Estos no son del sindicato. Estos son una facción de trabajadores que quieren trabajar y ganar plata porque tienen que comer. Claro, tiene sentido. Sí, que se cague el sindicato.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to... We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage.
No lo voy a ver.
Anyone by. The access panel is right behind him. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk.
Mal.
The button unguarded. Then we charge. Have fun. Shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Why you want to meet that fat asshole? I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They do right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side in the pity.
Let us work!
Ok, bueno, sabemos que hay una tercera facción. Quiero ver al chabón que dice el entrenado. No lo veo bien. No lo veo bien. ¿Y vos, pa?
Scab? Good one, officer. Don't worry. We here have solidarity with the RC. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
Psst. Show him your stolen card. Now has...
Speaking of, what brings the RC
Mal.
here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
The man looks...
Funcionó, mi plan funcionó.
Then,
But that's not you, officer. From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago John? Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told...
now you're in a mess. The time has not arrived. Sorry.
Oh, John's been out drinking himself blind again?
No. It will prove useful still. Believe
Ah, que ya me lo mandé, boludo. Este lo conoce, culiado. ¿Ves? ¿Te das cuenta? Yo no sirvo para mentir, boludo. En la vida real no sirvo para mentir. En los juegos no sirvo para mentir. No puedo mentir en ningún lado. Me tiene la habilidad de mentir al pedo.
Oh. Is my friend in some sort of trouble? Who knew? Oh. Good, good. What matters do you want to discuss with Everard? Everard's got a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, eh? I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his head.
¿Lo intentamos, gente? ¿Hacemos un volado rápido? ¿Lo intentamos? Volado rápido. Pues yo no parezco hecho para el combate. Tomo el cumplido, Ryu, gracias. ¿Qué es esto? En caso de huelga, pulsar botón tras el guardia.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Es muy grande,
Yeah,
colega.
Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger. You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk, and drowned.
Yes, Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick. Servitude to Al-Ghul does not explain everything. There are other reasons for your race. Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the Am Sandwich race is waning, begging for help, attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occident? You gave the world eugenics, electricité, and
13 horas, abrí comedor.
weapons of war like missiles. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato. You will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button
You
right
know
there,
it.
just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave this state. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the oaths to
Eso lo puedo hacer.
call art.
Este no lo puedo hacer. O sea, tengo forma física, tengo 3. Pero es una tirada difícil, o sea, es 13, boludo. Abstracción. A ver, vamos por este lado.
Go ahead. Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets. That's understandable. Jean-Luc Measurehead is a sage and an intellectual giant of race theory. Who are you?
A ver, ¿funcionará?
The man looks at you.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will also. To serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable. The South Island race. Haplogroup R4A. We are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulembuir are with me. No. I have heard about it on the radio. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Siemens.
Es como hablar con gente de Twitter.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. And
I don't think anything about this.
your pedomorphic friend is right.
Pedomórfico.
You leave here with your tail between. Racists are generally not very good examples.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull, and your silence betrays your inferiority. You do not have a reply.
We still need to get into the harbor. There's an interview to conduct.
Ok, vamos a hacer... Es que es una tirada difícil y si la fallo probablemente ya no pueda hacerlo después. Hacer otro guardado rápido. Sí, la fallé, la tirada fácil, boludo.
Your race descent has only worsened.
¡Ojo!
So you have really let yourself.
Cansado me tenés. Cansado me tenés.
Instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip.
No quiero matarlo tampoco, boludo. Solo quiero noquearlo. ¡Oh, no! ¿Qué he hecho, boludo? Señor, perdóneme.
Your head is in his hands, like a pair of forceps crushing you, and you can feel every jewel.
Say it. I am a degenerate drunk.
The compression is unbearable. This is causing some serious damage to whatever pressure.
You are a poor player of physical chess.
Hubiera ido a la batalla giratoria. Pensé que lo iba a matar, boludo. Listo. Va a volver a suceder.
Your little fist is in his.
You must be out of your mind.
Bueno. No, lo hicimos por los memes. Ya sabíamos que no iba a funcionar, boludo. Qué culiado. Bueno, vamos a ir a la cocina. Vamos a ir a la cocina y vamos a... Hoy es la hora. Y vamos a agarrar lo que tenemos que agarrar. Claro, está bien. Entonces ganar una vez no es suficiente. Tengo que ganar más de una vez. Y con un 13 es altamente improbable. Digamos, es estadísticamente improbable que suceda. Hola, caballero.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist type. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said...
I know exactly what you meant. You think But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my...
Silence. The air, your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high...
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some... The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month. 2 months, maybe. Apples. Yeah, apples.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
You were bested, ¿en serio? Ah, fallé, boludo, en serio.
It's about biological determinism. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. Suit yourself.
Bueno. Ah, a ver. Y yo tengo que volver y ver el cadáver. Si no puedo investigar nada en la cocina, tengo que volver y ver el cadáver, no queda otra. ¿Has visto mi placa por ahí, por favor? Coger todo.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something. It must be his name. Garanzi. Garanzi Quebec.
Ay, fallé, boludo.
Sounds representative. The man puts his cup down and replies something. His left hand, he smiles and bangs his... It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes.
Bueno, un espectáculo, la verdad, la concha de la lora.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, mate.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you...
The winch, outside, in the backyard. Remember? No, your fingers do.
Well, if there was a winch, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation. If you say so, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
The door does not.
Ok. Bueno, acá no están mis cosas.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's all some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely...
Fine, okay. A little. But my job doesn't leave me time. So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals. And I haven't found a key.
Oh, qué lástima, boludo.
Yes.
Bueno. Che, estamos muy trabados, ¿eh? Vamos a tener que investigar el cuerpo. Estamos en... Va, estamos... Estoy medio trabado, no sé qué hacer. Voy a ver el cuerpo. Avancemos a la misión principal.
The rotting man lies. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the... In your paperwork, officer, just fill out the field autopsy form.
Now they only have one page.
Officer, what haven't you lost? Good. Otherwise you would only have one. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several actually, but only if it helps move things along. Right. The autopsy form is near the end.
Siento que la competencia de meadas de la que hablaba antes la estoy perdiendo porque no tengo ningún papel donde llenar las cosas. Literalmente estoy haciendo el trabajo para su precinto.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you. Not an energetic start to an auto.
Pig's messed up.
Just leave it empty, officer.
The corpse lies there, indifferent to your retro.
KK57. Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial.
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Ah, tanya que
Nor does he look male with his preg.
We're still going with March 4. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number
KK 57 0503 08.
none. At least not after the initial examination.
Exactamente.
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining out. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon, and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 40.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest.
Ok,
It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings.
examen interno.
The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the
See? It...
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to.
Es que, o sea, sí, las botas sí, pero digamos, re cochinas las botas. No sé qué opinan ustedes, están re cochinas esas botas. Me parece que no es la play. No, vamos a dejarlo.
Serial number. It's E50.1. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings. To be added to the deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck. Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 40. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold.
Acariciar el pelo suavemente.
Wet.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Mordiscos.
Ligature mark. Steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the...
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the bell to see the ligature mark below.
See? My pig is gonna fuck.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Forma física en igualdad, pero vamos a buscar un buen punto, a ver.
The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there.
Conectividad de instrucciones. Más 3. Estrategia.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tight. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Tengo un montón de ideas para aprender. No, mentira, tengo 2 ideas para aprender. ¿Qué es esto? 5 haces del cielo. Medidas temporales de la investigación. Más una empatía hacia Kim. Ok, y el largo historia de camino a casa. Unite. Investigación. Vamos a empezar con esto, bro.
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars.
From a wound sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active.
We have a real Last item. Hands.
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Interno.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on the...
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of...
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
No sé.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
Yeah, Jack, that fuck!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Inside, you see darkness. Mute silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Arpeo prohibido.
Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. Same for toxicology and serology, unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there? Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if you...
Brimming with cocaine.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list?
Descripción de lesiones.
We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused
Ah, de las aves.
And your opinion, officer?
No post-mortem. O sea, post-mortem, quiero decir.
Agreed. Next injury.
Contusiones.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has
At maximum velocity.
confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man, beneath the description of injury.
Post-mortem.
Right. Next, a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
Yo... Corríjame, chat, ahora sí, Opi, estoy errado. Pero yo creo que esto no fue la causa de muerte. No lo ahorcaron vivo. Sin embargo, no vimos nada más que pueda haber sido la causa de muerte. No lo vimos. Y como no estamos haciendo toxicología, no sabemos si murió de otra cosa. Pero por lo menos lesiones que hayan sido para mí. Para mí, esto no es la causa de muerte. No sé, es algo que me lo dice en mi corazón. No hay... Por lo menos no dijeron que estén los rajuños. No hay, viste, que el tipo ha tratado de zafarse. Lo pueden haber colgado inconsciente, claramente. Lo pueden haber noqueado y colgarlo. Pero yo creo que lo mataron con un veneno, una droga, algo similar.
Why do you say that?
Claro.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Still, there may be truth to this one. I was ready to call a probable cause of death here, but now I think we should leave it empty. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Eso viene perfecto.
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of... We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive...
Semanas.
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances...
Profesional.
It was a professional.
Me gusta.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Now we put him in a body bag and I drive him to Forborg for processing.
The lieutenant looks at the dead man. You tilt your head. Or... I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Queda algo, gente, queda algo más. Queda algo más. La cosa es que si fallo, no establecí el caso probable. Le faltó información. O sea, tengo más uno solamente. Perdón. Tengo más uno porque no dije, no, es por esto que se murió por la cuerda. Lo voy a intentar de vuelta. ¡Ay, boludo! ¡No puedo! ¡No puedo entrar a la parte psíquica!
I told you, he is male, 4250.
Esta es difícil, boludo. Esta es muy difícil. Voy a fallar las dos, boludo. Voy a fallar las dos. Y no voy a saber nada. Voy a perder información valiosa. Como en cada partida de rol que juego. ¡Ah! ¡Saqué 4 de vuelta!
His limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, but only if...
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man?
Only if all else fails.
This
is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Ok. Es lo que vamos a hacer ya mismo, pero lo vamos a hacer en el próximo video, gente. Bueno, si les gustó, todas te van a salir mal. Todas te van a salir mal, excepto la que era para noquear al chabón, pero era con 2 tiradas, así que bueno, era muy difícil, estéticamente muy improbable. Pero bueno, gente, lo dejamos ahí por hoy. Si les gustó el video, denle like. Si no les gustó, denle dislike, que es lo que hay. Y nos vemos en el próximo. Cuídense, gente, de paso. Nos vemos. Chau, chau.